Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 975, there's a question up there. Can you consider yourself a true fan of a series of games or a true fan of a character if you don't own every game in the set? And by that I mean you don't own the shit ones. Now, as a retro collector and a comic book collector, more so a comic book collector, I can understand the need, you know, to want to own a complete set of something, and it's no different with games. This is quite an interesting topic. I can't take credit for this topic. This topic was raised by Zeavo. It's in my channel list, and I put a link to his doohickey down below and a link to his latest video down below. He had a comical pop at Sega and Sonic.
I just got this bad feeling that if I'm involved in the next Sonic game, it's just gonna somehow turn into some disaster.
Now, Zeavo's pretty much the biggest Sonic fan I know. He absolutely loves Sonic. His channel was heavily influenced by Sonic. And yeah, I responded to this video and said, hey, as a laugh, I said, hey, I'd buy it. And he came back and he said, you know, the funny thing is, it probably would sell, and then it would probably warrant, you know, a sequel. And he raised the issue that recently he was called a second-rate Sonic fan because he didn't buy the latest Sonic game. He said he didn't buy it because based on the press and the reviews, it's buggy, it's glitchy, it's unfinished. You know, he didn't see the purpose in owning it, even though he's a massive Sonic fan. And this person said, you know, how can you call yourself a Sonic fan? I mean, don't you think you have the right to experience it yourself first before you make a decision? Now, I've always argued that taste is subjective. I mean, there are games that are in two camps, you know. Some people think they're brilliant, some people think they're shit. But every now and then, there is a game that is unanimously considered across the board, you know, game magazines, gaming websites, forums, blogs, vlogs, YouTube videos, you know, it's generally considered across the board to be a bucket of turd. And ultimately, that's what reviews are for, aren't they? To stop you wasting your hard-earned money. And so, you know, his stance was, why should I buy it, you know, if it's less than a good game? The fact that he's a Sonic fan should not influence his decision to purchase a weak game, you know. And I think this is a very, very interesting point he raised, because he said to me, as I said in the title, do you think you should own every game in the series, even the bad ones? And my stance on this is exactly the same as Zeavo's, which is a true fan does not go after everything, because if we do so, then we fall into the hands of these, you know, these companies, these manufacturers, in this case Sega. A true fan will stand up there and say, no, you know what, I'm not buying this, I'm not giving you my money, you know, because I want to protect the integrity of the franchise or the character I love. If I give you my money for a less than good game, if everyone gives you your money, our money, sorry, for a less than good game, then we're endorsing the fact that you're making weak products, that you're making horrible games. You know, where is your inspiration? Where is your drive to put quality into it, like you did years and years ago with your original proper old school Sonic games? You'll get complacent, you'll get lazy. If people pay to put out shit, then you'll put out shit. It's a lot easier than, you know, taking the time to polish a product. And Sonic is a very good example of this. I mean, Sonic games back in the day were just absolutely brilliant. I'm not saying all modern Sonic? Is that even a word? Sonic games are bad, but, you know, there have been some pretty weak ones over the last decade. I mean, there are some good ones. Sonic Generations and Sonic Colors, I enjoyed them, but Sonic and the Black Knight, I accidentally brushed against that once in a store and spent the next 2 weeks showering. That had no place being released. Certainly had no place being a Sonic game. This stamp a character or a franchise that people will love onto a less than good product because you know that it will sell it. No, I'm with Zeavo on this. If you consider yourself a die-hard fan, you know, a proper big fan of a franchise or, you know, a character you love, then you will not own every game. You know, you will stand up there and you say, no, I'm not buying this, because ultimately you're protecting, you know, your love for that franchise, your love for that character. But I'd really, really like to know what you think, and I really think you should go and check out Zeavo. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.